Next Shabbat, Parshat Zachor. So we're going to talk about Zachor, because Haman was from Amalek. Rav Zadik HaKohen, the great master of Machshava, says a beautiful, beautiful idea, which is so important for our generation, where we have a monster nuclear Yetzer Hara. Rav Zadik asks a very simple question. It says, never forget, Zachor asher asar lecha Amalek b'derech. Remember what Amalek did to you on the road. Asher karcha b'derech, that he stumbled upon you and attacked you b'derech. So Rav Zadik asks very simply, why does he keep on saying b'derech? What's the deeper Kabbalistic, machshavadik correlation between b'derech, on the road, and Amalek? So he says a fascinating thing. He says there's a Gemara, and now that we have Safari and we have the internet, I would urge you people to look up this Gemara. There's a Gemara in Kiddushin 81a that says Rab Meir used to mock, degrade, and ridicule people that would do sexual sin. And then the Hashem brought down that he said, well, that's not fair. So he said, it says over here, if not that Rab Meir was so outstandingly amazing that even in the heavens they would say, God would tell the angels, be careful of Rab Meir, how holy he is. And his Torah, Hashem would have showed him that the unfortunately sexually sin, like the Zohar says, is so powerful that even Rab Meir, if he wasn't careful, could have fallen into a trap. And same thing, Rabbi Akiva used to make fun. And Rabbi Akiva is like the Moshe Rabbeinu of the oral Torah, the Arizal says. And he says, we have to realize one thing. Kabbalistically, Amalek is the most powerful branch of the Satan. So just like the U.S. Army, let's make a mashal. U.S. Army has amazing arsenal. He has the Air Force. Then he has the Navy SEALs, right? So the Navy SEALs, the Marines of the Satan is Amalek. It's one and the same. And Amalek has this extreme audacity and chutzpah that it doesn't hesitate to antagonize and corrupt anybody at any time. Even as you're as great as Rabbi Akiva or Rab Meir, that are basically really more angelic, more like an angel. The Satan, and this is a Gemara again in Kiddushin that Rav Chasida one time had a bunch of orphan girls in his attic, and he was about to run top to, God forbid, do something bad with them. Then he said, there's a fire in the house. So Rav Amrav was more than a tzaddik. He was a chassid. So from the greatest of the great, the Yetzer Hara doesn't make any ands, ifs, and buts and exceptions. He's there to harass and corrupt and send to hell, Gehenna, anybody and everybody. And if you're not careful, so Rav Zadik explains basically like this. The deeper Kabbalistic meaning of, remember, Amalek wanted to come, and the Torah keeps on saying, Baderech, he attacked you in the road. Because, my dears, our life is a journey, our life is a derech, right? We go from one stop to another. And Klal Yisrael, when did Amalek attack us, Rav Zadik says? Right before, at the prime, exactly. The Zohar says that every Makkah that Hashem brought upon the Mitzrayim, we went one Sephira up. We were about to get the Torah. We were in such a pure and pristine level. You can never become complacent from your enemy. What happened on October 7th? The Jews thought, we have the best Mossad and security. The modern Amalek, Hamas, and Hezbollah came and attacked. It's such an important idea that even though the Jews were at their highest level, right before accepting the Torah, coming to God face to face, Amalek attacked us then on the derech to say that the one word, guys. It says, Al ta'amin atzmecha ad yom osecha. Our life is also a journey. The Satan, unfortunately, the time we have to be the most careful that he's going to attack us is that when we're not growing anymore. There was a guy, Rabbi Yochanan Kohen Gadol. 80 years he was the Kohen Gadol. The last day of his life he went off. Because you also have to understand, the same way some people, 80 years of their life they could be off, they could come on. But Zelo Masa, right? The world has to have an equilibrium in orders, right? For us to get rewarded. You understand? So, and I want to read Rav ZADOK because his words are so beautiful and eloquent. He says, "V'bal lilmod sheyizara adam." The Torah keeps on repeating the word derech, derech to come and tell us a person has to be careful from the enticement of the Yetzer Hara. And don't say, "Oh, I'm so great. I'm Rab Meir Bal Hanes. I'm Rabbi Akiva." Right? I'm Rab Tarfon. He brings many other. There's a Yerushalmi in Shabbat that there was a Hasid and Rabbi Tarfon's thing that ended up doing something very dirty and not according to his Meira. A person can't and say, "Oh, I'm a super tzaddik and a chassid and a holy person and somebody detached from materialism. I'm angelic." Because you could never trust yourself. In Apitropos La'arayas. Did we see what happened to Chaim Walder? Did we see? That's why I think we always need to learn the laws of Yichud. In Apitropos La'arayas. The Yetzer Hara is so powerful that he never leaves anybody alone. And in our journey of life, one thing you could be guaranteed, that every step of the way the Satan is there to corrupt you. And the only time that you have to not learn Musar, not learn Torah, and is once you give your holy soul back. Then you could be, once you're in once you've stopped your derech, which is, again, derech means life. Once you've given back your soul to God, then you don't need to be worried about the Satan. But as long as you're in this journey of life, the Satan can attack you. And we just learned the Mitzvah Hashem. You could call it Mitzvah Avera Mitzvah. And not only that, Rav ZADOK brings down, he brings down that, again, I'll read it inside. He says, don't forget, you were right at the pinnacle. You're at the best time, purest time of your life, right? At that time, AMALEK comes to you to try to take you away from your holiness. So Hashem should help us to realize, like the Gra says, a person always has to get better. There's no such thing as parva, like an elevator that goes up and down, because that's
just like an escalator going down.
Exactly.
If you stay, it just keeps you taking you down.
Exactly. So that's what AMALEK is in this road of life, right? One thing you should be rest assured: the Satan is never going to leave you alone. That's why you always have to try to get better. And there's countless people that we see. You look left, you look right. People that stop growing, they themselves automatically, inevitably, are going to go down a very, very dangerous path. So Hashem should help us always that we should be from the Bnei Aliyah, never to trust ourselves. Just like the Torah is the Samachayim, Barati lo Yetzer Hara, Barati Torah Tavlin lo. We always need to have Torah and Musar, and even maybe more than that, being under the shadow of our Gedolim and getting Das Torah and having a good Rebbe in order. And that was really what happened. They didn't listen to Mordechai. That's part of the whole thing of having Torah. Torah without Gedolim and Das Torah is not a real Torah, right? They didn't listen to Mordechai. Our Torah is a live Torah. Just like we had Moshe Rabbeinu, his generation, we have our Rav Yitzchak Yosef, Rav Yaakov Hillel, the Gedolim of our generation. We should be in contact with them. Happy Purim and Chag Sameach.